guys, I'm Allie, and this is my boyfriend Steve.
What's up, guys?
As you probably know, I teach yoga, and then he is a personal trainer, so we kind of thought we would fuse the two, and we created a little yoga workout flow. So there's going to be some, it's all going to be like movement, body weight exercises, and some flexibility, so mixing both together. If you have a mat, grab it. If you have light weights, you might want them, but we're going to both go just with our body weight for this stuff, and I think it should be challenging enough just with that. So we will start in child's pose. We're going to take our knees super wide on our mats, toes come to touch, and then let your hips find your heels, reach out in front of you with your palms. And just let your forehead find the mat when you get there. I'm going to start taking a couple breaths here, letting your hips get super heavy down towards your heels. Let's take here a couple more breaths. In through your nose, we'll start heating our body up. Let your core, your stomach expand as you fill. And then kind of use your core and push all of that air out, hips to heels. We're going to keep our knees nice and wide. Let's start to lift up, palms are nice and grounded. Send your weight forward, we'll keep our elbows tucked right by our sides. Take a little push up. We're going to press up, send your hips right back where they came from, child's pose. Gonna move through that, lifting up, little push up, elbows right by your sides, and back child's pose. Let's go 3 more, so 5 total. Go for 3. Go for 2. Hips all the way back. And last one, little push up, and back to child's pose. Let's lift our body up. We will just scoot our knees right underneath our hips. Palms stay nice and grounded under your shoulders. Just warm up our spine. We'll take some cat-cows from here. So we're going to inhale, look up, let your tailbone lift, stomach drops. And then press all the way down to the mat. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Do that with your breath. So inhaling, coming through, shoulders back, heart forward. Breath out. So 2 more big full rounds of breath. Last one. Just end in a neutral spine.
Here, what we're going to do is push through the mat, elevating our knees off the ground, engaging your core by tucking that tailbone in. And we're going to hold it here for about 5 counts. Continuing breathing. One more breath. Releasing our knees to the ground.
We're going to just send our hips all the way up to the sky for down dog. So you're probably at a good distance from that tabletop. Might need a little more space. Feet are just hip width distance apart, so just like 2 fist widths. It's really not all that far. And if you have tight hamstrings, you can soften through your knees a little bit. Just get nice and long through your spine. Let your gaze go back towards your ankles or your knees so your neck is nice and soft. And take a big breath in. Exhale, shift forward, high plank. And take a breath in. Exhale, hips go high, down dog. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, shift back, down dog. Go one more time through. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Tuck our feet just a little wider, still in down dog. And then we'll just walk our hands to meet our feet at the back of your mat. You may soften through your knees a lot, so just kind of hang if you want to find some movements here. It's getting nice and heavy. We'll let our hands fall to the mat. Just rise to standing, keeping your feet a little wider than you normally would if you're a yogi. Gonna inhale, arms all the way up and overhead. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's lower our hips over our heels for a squat. If you lift all 10 toes, get nice and heavy up in your heels towards the back. I'm gonna stay here for 3. Go for 2. And 1, big forward fold, let your hips go high. Gonna walk right back out the way we came, high plank. Exhale to lower chaturanga, elbows right by your sides like those push-ups up front. Inhale, up dog. Tops of your feet on the mat, heart opens. And then a breath out, down dog. You can take that whole thing from your knees if you'd rather. And take a breath in, breath out. Walk your hands to meet your feet right at the back of your mat. Inhale, half lift, find a flat back. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up to standing, biggest breath, arms reach up and over. Hands to heart center, sink your hips heavy for squats. We're gonna stay for 3, stay for 2, and 1, forward fold, hips go high. Walking right back out to a high plank. And you lower, take that flow, knees are there if you need them. Breath out. Big breath in, down dog. So that one more time, get nice and warm. Walk your hands to meet your feet. Inhale for your half lift. Breath out, big folds. Press down as you rise all the way up. Fingertips on fire. Hands to heart center as you squat. This time we'll stay for 5. Go for 4, 3, 2, and 1, big fold. Walk right back out in a high plank, squeeze that flow, and if it's there for you, breath out as you lower. Breath in, and a down dog. Big inhale, empty out. Bring your feet to touch at the back of your mat. You're gonna inhale our right leg high. Gonna hug that knee all the way in, tap it to your right elbow. As you shift forward, breath out, go back, 3-legged down dog. Breath in, the tap. And back. Let's go 3 more, knee to elbow. You can move at your pace. And back. Go for 2, all in your core. And back. Last one, set that foot down at the top of your mat as you rise, high crescent lunge. You're gonna be low in that front knee. Back heel is stacked over your toes, so you're on fire through that back leg.
Now here, what we're gonna do is lower our left knee to the mat. Spring forward, right into a squat position, keeping those arms up. Squat up, squeeze those glutes. Elevating that right foot up, stepping back, same thing, knees to ground, springing forward, right back into that squat. Now we know what we're gonna do. We're gonna finish 5 and 5 on each side, taking it at your own pace. Let's go for 4 more on each side here. Don't forget to get that squat in. Continue breathing. Yes. We got one more here. Last one on this side. Back at the top of our mat, ending in this squat.
Let's just take a little flow to kind of flush that all out. We'll take a breath in, arms reach up and over. Exhale, big forward fold right down the center. Let's just hang out here for a minute. So we can grab our big toes with our peace fingers. Being bent nice and soft and your knees just hang heavy. Maybe finding that breath you started with. Nice and full, long exhales. breath in, and a big fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Let's just heel toe our feet to touch, or our toes to touch, and our knees. We're just gonna sweep our arms high, chair pose. I'm gonna start lowering in our hips. You can lift all 10 toes again, just like that squat. Let's go a little lower. All the way down to the mat. Let your feet float off when you get there, boat pose. You can always support behind your knees if you need it. But let's lift through our heart either way, so squeeze shoulder blades. I'm gonna take 5 lowers, I think they're called jackknives, like high to low boats. So I'm gonna take my hands right back behind me for a little support. I think he's gonna go without. So we will lower down, breath out, breath in. And we'll go 4 or 5. For 4 again, you can move at your own pace. 3, 2, and 1. And in a high vault, we're gonna give ourselves a big rock. We're gonna try to land back in chair pose as smooth as you can. So rock all the way to the back of your mat. Feet come up, you can use your hands if you need to. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands find the mat. You can squeeze the flow in if it's here, or just step back to down dog, your choice. Breath in, and a breath out. Inhale, lift to the top of your mat. Exhale, 2-step or jump lightly. And just rise all the way up to standing. Take a breath. Shake it off. And take our right knee up and in. I'm gonna flex all the way down to our toes. I'm gonna send that foot straight to the back wall. Just kind of think of a stamp straight back. Airplane. I'm gonna start lowering in that front knee so our back toes find the mat. Ending right back in our high crescent lunge.
Here, what we're gonna do is take our right knee to the mat, or right before the mat, lunging down, pushing through that back toe, and really flexing that quad as we come up. And we're gonna perform 10 reps here. Go at your own pace. Remember to stay pushing through those toes. That's 3. And flexing those quads at the top. Breathing.
We're gonna try to go right back the way we came. So we're gonna spring off that back foot, load your front, right back to airplane. Doesn't have to be pretty. And let's pull that knee right back up and into your chest. Try to keep it lifted if you can. And then set it down on the mat. Shake it off, take a breath. We'll do that on the left. Take our left knee up and in. Flexing all the way down to your toes. When you're ready, send that foot straight back, airplane. Squeeze through our shoulder blades, heart works to the front. And start to soften through that back or front leg, sorry. Back toes find the mat and then lift on up. Right back in your high crescent lunge.
And we're right back here on the left side. Same deal. Pushing through those toes, staying balanced, breathing, taking that knee almost to the mat, flexing our quads at the top. Same thing, all 10 reps. Make sure you keep them count.
We're gonna go right back to airplane. So press off that back foot, load your front. Gonna hit that. Pull that knee right back up and in. Try to keep it lifted if you can. And set it down on the mat. Take a big flow just to kind of flush it out. Breath in, arms up and overhead. Exhale, big forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, takes you back. Find a flow if it's there. Inhale up dog. And a breath out, down dog. Gonna inhale, shift forward, high plank. Gonna break up some of those lunges with some core work. Right hand scoots underneath your right shoulder. Gonna let our heels tip over, side plank. So let your left hand reach up to the ceiling. You can always drop to your bottom knee or your bottom forearm if you'd rather. You can hold to your static, or if you are a yogi and have somewhere you want to go from this high plank, go for it. Lifting our hips all the way up to the sky. Stay big breath in. Let's go for 3, for 2, and 1. Bring it right back over high plank. Let's do that on the left. Left hand scoots in the middle, tip those heels over. Hips are lifted this whole time. Take it wherever you want to go. Stay for 3. Core is strong. Go for 2. And 1. Come back over high plank. Just send our hips high, down dog. Breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, right leg lifts. Now hug that knee all the way into our chest. Just keep it hugged in as you press into the mat. You're in a high plank. We're going to stay here for 3. Set it down in 2. And 1. Come up, warrior 2. Whew. So we're now open through our hips, so you might take up a little more space than you had in those lunges. We're going to get nice and low on this front knee and peel it out wide towards your pinky toe. Back foot should be grounded and totally parallel to the back of your mat. We're going to reach to the front of the back, gazes right over these front fingertips. So we're going to find some movement from the front to the back of our mat, facing the long edge. So we're going to press into that front foot, and then take a little side squat. We're right back into our front. Deep side lunge. Warrior 2. Let's go for 3. 5 total. Go for 2. Warrior 2. Last one to the back. Landing in the front. Straighten out through that front leg. Bring those toes to the side wall. We'll just take a big forward fold so you can stay here. Hands to hips. Heart lifts high. And a breath out to fold. If you have headstand in your practice, if you want to add a little twist in here, you can. I'm just going to stay right down the center and take a big fold for my hamstrings. It's kind of easy to just hang out here, so try to stay super active. Moving with your breath, every exhale kind of sink. Bring hands right back underneath us, just lift up so you have a flat back. We'll rise all the way up to standing, use your core to get up. Bring those front toes to the front, standing right back in our warrior 2. Inhale, flip your front hand to reverse. Stay low on that front knee as you go up and back. Let's stay here for an extra breath. Reach, big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel, hands to the mat, and you flow. Let's do that all for our left. Inhale, left leg lifts. Just hug that knee into your chest as you shift forward, high plank. You're gonna press away from the mat, creating lots of space. Stay here for 3. Stay for 2. Set your foot down, come on up, warrior 2. And just take a second and look down, start from the ground up. Front toes face forward, you're nice and open through that front knee, that front hip. And we're gonna start moving through those front to back squats. So push off that front foot, loading our back. And go as low as your hips allow. And we'll go for 4. For 3. Try to land in deep side lunge and warrior 2, hitting both poses. Last one. Go straight through our front leg. Send those front toes over to the side wall. We'll take one more big fold. Heart lifts high with an inhale. Breath out. I'm gonna walk my hands over to one toe. I think you took that last time. You can go here with me if you like. You can stay down the center of the ski. And start making your way right back to the center. Halfway lift, core brings you all the way up to the top. So land nice and smooth, back in warrior two. Inhale to reverse, stay low as you flip, go up and back. Gonna stay and reach, biggest breath. Big cartwheel, hands to the mat. And you flip. Inhale, shift forward to a high plank. Into the shoulder taps.
Here in a high plank, we're gonna keep our shoulders stacked over our wrists, core tight, and we're gonna go ahead and go for 20 plank shoulder taps, 10 and 10 on each side. Tapping that shoulder, replacing that hand back to the mat. Keep that core tight, keep count, moving at your own pace. All right, now holding this plank as well, we're gonna go right into up down planks. And so if we're still up, that's good. If you need to drop to your knees like Ali, that's totally fine. What we're gonna do is up down planks down to the elbows, right back up, alternating sides, which elbow you go down on, which hand you come back up on. 10 total, keep count. Keep that core tight. 5.
Ooh, 10's hard.
Work for it. 10.
Just gonna lower all the way down to our stomach. Just rest one cheek to the mat. You can take your arms back by your sides. Flip your palms to face up so your shoulders get a little break. And just get nice and heavy on your mat. Take a couple breaths. Just take our right hand or palm and place it under our chin. I just use this as a little cushion. Then you take your left hand, reach back, grab your left foot. So if you kind of felt your hips press off the mat, your hip flexor area, press that back down. So the front side of your body gets nice and long. So you should feel this down your quad. You can release that left foot. Sweep your arms around. We'll do the same on the right. Release that right foot. Gonna bring our palms right next to your rib cage. Tops of your feet on the mat, just press up for a big upward facing dog. So thighs should be lifted, hips press forward. Shoulders are way back and down. Let's stay for an extra inhale. And then a breath out, down dog. Make your way onto our back, so you can try jumping through your hands or just drop to your knees, set your glutes down. Just gonna take our feet straight out in front of us. We're just gonna take a forward fold before we lower. So I'll scoop my glutes out from underneath me. I'm sitting on my sit bones. If your hamstrings are pretty tight, you can soften through your knees or grab like a strap or a towel or a t-shirt. You're gonna inhale as you reach up. Exhale, fold out and over. Think about the hinge from your hips, less from your low back. If you grab your feet, great. If not, you can come to your shins or your ankles. And then just fold and try to work those legs straight every breath out. You can release your feet and lower down onto our backs nice and slow. Let's take a breath here. And do one more core thing. Let's float our feet off the mat. So you're kind of like in a tabletop, but on your back. I'm gonna fire up through our toes. Bring your palms to the top of your thighs. I'm gonna turn just so you guys can see me. I'm gonna bring my palms to the top of my thighs and then crunch on up. Press into your legs, so you kind of have to like create all of the resistance here. We're gonna press and stay. Take an inhale. Exhale, send your right leg out long. Inhale, bring it to the tabletop. Exhale, left leg. Inhale, tabletop, pressing into your thighs the whole time. Breath in. Left leg. Let's go 2 more each side, right leg long. And in, keeping your low back connected to the mat this whole time. So you should be in more like a banana shape. Last time on the left. Knees right back up to your tabletop. And release head, neck, shoulders, and feet to the mat. Do our glute bridges.
Here, while we're flat on our backs, we're going to elevate our left foot, pushing through our right heel, elevate our glutes off the ground, and do 10 glute bridges on each side. So you'll lower those glutes back down, just touching your mat, igniting right back up into the sky. All 10, take it at your own pace. Really feel that good flex through that hamstring and glute. Good job releasing that right foot all the way to the ground, catching your breath, maybe swaying those knees side to side.
Just gonna take a little figure 4 stretch. When you're ready, you can totally take a couple breaths here. It's gonna take our right ankle and cross it over your left knee. And then, idea here, we're gonna lift our left foot off the mat, hug that knee into your chest, and then press your right knee away from you. So you can grab either your thigh or your shin.
And if you're a little less flexible like me, I grab my left knee with both hands and use my right elbow on my right knee or right thigh to kind of pry it out, so it's still feeling that good stretch in that outer right hip.
Try to stay on this side for 3 more big full breaths. Get extra long on your exhales. Go for 2. Let your left foot lower nice and slow. Well, uncross and then get set up on the opposite side. So cross that left foot over your right knee. And I'll just lift and squeeze everything in as you press your left knee away from you. If you're at home and you're anywhere close to a wall, pressing the lifted foot into the wall kind of lets you relax a little bit more into this. So if you're just like lifted and crunched and so tight trying to get this stretch to work, I would suggest scooting over to the wall, and then you can move hips closer or farther depending on what you need. These kind of stretches are super passive, so it shouldn't be a whole lot of work. It should be more of a relaxing and opening. So if you're really tight, you're kind of working against yourself here in this stretch. Your exhales help a lot, so stay with them. Send your awareness to your glutes. So get a couple more big full breaths on this side. And then you can start to release. Let your right foot find the mat. And just take a big full body stretch to kind of flush that all out. You can reach your feet nice and long. You can send our arms up and overhead. Just take a big breath. And I'll bring our right knee into our chest. We'll squeeze that in nice and tight. And take a big breath in. Exhale, let it fall up and over to the left. We'll keep our right shoulder all the way connected to the mat. And then look to the right. Bring that knee back in. Let it lower to the mat. We'll do that on the left. Hugging your left knee in. Big squeeze with your inhale. And then an exhale, let it drop up and over to the right. Again, left shoulder stays connected. Look to the left. Bring that left knee in, let it lower all the way to the mat. And just lay here for a second, let your palms face the ceiling. Just get nice and heavy. Just taking big full breaths, feeling your stomach rise as you inhale. And trying to slow that exhale down. You can hang out in Shavasana for as long as you would like if you have the time. You're going to press on up to a seat with us. Just keep our eyes shut down if you're comfortable with that. Hands to heart center. Just in class with a big breath together, filling all the way up. Breath out. And thank you guys. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining us for class. This is something me and him have wanted to do for a while, kind of join our two things that go so well together, and we're both super into balancing that out, strength and flexibility and movement exercises, a lot of body weight stuff. So this one's just on YouTube, but we've been thinking about doing them like a live version during this quarantine. It's a great time on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or something. So if that's something you like, or if you have any feedback on these type of classes, just let us know. But thanks for joining us today, and I hope you come back for some more.
Peace out, everybody.